No, we're not ready to announce yet. I think the battle's still ongoing, and like I've said, I feel comfortable with multiple guys. So I don't know how soon we'll make that decision, but we're not ready yet.
Scott, how do you break up this week? Is this week all game preparation for the opener, or are you still kind of wrapping some things up with fall game?
It's both. We're still working on some things we think we need to improve just in camp mode. School starts today for the guys, which is a big deal to be back in classes, and so they got to balance their schedule a little bit better. But we're also running some of the things that we might run in the first game. So it's kind of a balance the next 2 days of camp mode and game mode.
Between his time at Marshall and FAU, Cam Fancher's logged a lot of playing time, a lot of starts. How have you seen him benefit from that throughout camp?
Yeah, I think early on, he did the best job of getting in the huddle, having command, making the calls precisely, and helping everybody else get lined up, and that speaks to the experience level. He's just played more ball. The other guys have caught up to a great deal and did a good job with that too, but you could recognize early on that Cam's been in that position before.
You expressed confidence in all three quarterbacks. Is it realistic to see them get equal amount of playing time in the first game?
Yeah, I think it's probably TBD at this point. I think playing three equally in a game, I don't think you'll get any kind of rhythm with that. So we're going to have to make a hard decision. Playing two is hard. I don't think rotating three is probably something that's very likely.
I want to follow up on the status. Tavion Swing said a tweak after the scrimmage. He was not spotted in practice on Monday or Wednesday. What's the status going forward?
Yeah, I feel bad for Chick. It was kind of a non-contact thing, and we didn't know what it was. He got a meniscus and had to have surgery on it. So we're trying to see right now how long that's going to keep him out. We're not going to have him for a while. Great guy, cares a lot, and was doing some really good things. So we look forward to getting him back whenever that is.
Coach, you talked about after scrimmage, some players had some what you call soft tissue injuries and missed some time, like most via any updates on people with those types of injuries?
Yeah, we're still nursing through a few of those. For the most part, guys are back. I think we'll have pretty close to full strength team come first game if we avoid things from here on out. Kaz did a great job rehabbing, and he's back full swing right now. Isaiah is still nursing his a little bit, and Caden's still nursing his a little. Everybody else is kind of day-to-day things. So we gave them 2 days off, and I think that did a lot to help get the guys' bodies back.
Scott, the Big 12 announced last week they're going to do player availability reports, going into their conference games. How do you see that kind of impacting anything? How does that change what you do? Having to maybe announce something on Wednesday and then 90 minutes before kickoff?
Well, coaches at multiple levels have these issues. We'll just try to be honest. The hard thing is that's not for anybody except the people losing money on games. But we'll do what the Big 12 tells us to do and try to keep our guys healthy along the way.
You spoke a lot in spring about how Ja'Cory Brown had made a lot of improvement since what you saw on tape last season. Just kind of speak of his progress through camp. How's Ja'Cory Brown been doing?
Ja'Cory's awesome. He's a leader. He's a great kid. He's really talented. I wish I'd have had him for 3 or 4 years. It'd have been fun to see that development, because watching how much he's grown in 6 or 7 months has been amazing. He's a good player, a good quarterback, and has done a great job in camp. So, like I said, we have a hard decision to make.
And Taven Jackson, what kind of camp is he in?
Taven's been great. I think it took him just a little longer to get comfortable with scheme, terminology, everything, but man, he can really throw it and spin it and does a good job running. He's had a really good camp too, and created a lot of explosives for us in multiple ways. So all three guys, like I've said, if I only had one of them, I'd feel good about going into the game with that guy. We're going to pick the one that we think gives us our best chance in game one.
Recently, you had said that you weren't sure about this team, how it would respond when it faces adversity. As camp's winding down here, what are you sure about in this team?
I'm sure we've gotten a lot better, and I'm sure the team is a lot closer knit than it has been. They're starting to learn how to fight for each other. The test is going to be when things aren't going perfect. How do we react to that? And we've had a little bit of adversity in camp. Those have probably been good lessons for us. We're going to hit more during the season, and we got to make sure we respond to it the right way. I don't think you ever really know a lot about someone until you go through some things with them. Usually the biggest test of friendships and characters in this life to me are when things are going real well for you and when things are going real bad for you. what kind of person are you in those situations, and as a friend, if somebody's happy for you when things are going well, they're a real friend, and if they're there for you when things are going bad, you're a real friend. Same goes for teammates. So we got to make sure that the bond that we're starting to nurture here carries us through the good and the bad.
Which position group would you say has shown you the most improvement this whole game?
And it's hard to say. I see improvement everywhere. There's a couple positions that I was not concerned about, but had my questions about that have really responded. I think the DBs have done a really good job. There's some others that we just needed to see steady improvement. The O-line's definitely one of those, and I feel good about our depth there. We're young at receiver and needed to see improvement there, and I'm starting to see those guys run efficient routes and understand how to get open and how to use space and catch the ball. So across the board, I'd say there's been improvement, and that needs to show up in about 10 days.
Coach, how does the schedule change now that classes have started? Does it make the evening just as important as the morning now?
Yeah, I mean, we've been football only for about a month here, less than a month, but now they got to balance school with that, and that's hard. You have to have some maturity about you to do that and make sure you're taking care of that business there, but still being locked in when you're over here, and vice versa. We'll get up and have morning meetings with the guys and then go to practice. Then the guys go get a chance to be students and be around the rest of the campus and other students for the entire afternoon, and we bring them back before dinner for meetings, and they got to get locked back into football. So it's a real manageable schedule for the guys, and if they handle it the right way, I think it can benefit them.
Coach, you asked me to ask you this in a few weeks. It's been a few weeks. Who on the team has had the most memorable introductions from the newcomers when they had to introduce themselves to the program? Who's really stood out to you?
Oh, man, yeah. We still have a few that haven't gone yet. I can't really say what it was, but Rodney Laura did a really good job. He made fun of Paul Rubel, which is always funny to me. That's the one I remember the most.
The Big Ten's talking about potentially expanding the playoffs. There's talking about 24 teams, 28 teams, 32 teams. What's kind of your thoughts on potentially expanded field, reminiscent more of the FCS playoffs? And is it something you're in favor of, or is it something that's becoming too much?
Those are decisions that, in my opinion, has absolutely no bearing on. I would say that these guys are still students, and we're getting farther and farther away from the model where they were amateur student athletes. But I find it hard to believe you can have a longer playoff with a conference championship game and the length of the season that we have. So I hope they at least consider the stress they're putting on not just coaches, but our players, but assistant coaches as well, and the amount of time that would take. Obviously, I love it when things are decided on the field, and I don't have the right answers, so somebody smart's going to have to figure that out.
I know you said you can win with all three quarterbacks. Is this one of the more challenging competitions you've gone through going this late before making a decision? Just how challenging, because you said early in camp that every day maybe you could make an argument for one guy.
Yeah, it's not just every day. It has changed in my mind, and sometimes it's changed multiple times in a practice where you feel good about how somebody's playing, and then there's a mistake or a bad play, and somebody else makes a good play. And what I feel bad about is it's not really fair to whoever's going to end up playing, that their reps have probably been cut by 30 or 40% because we're spreading the reps around. The good thing, the way our schedule sets up, we got to pick one for this first game. We'll have a longer prep for game 2 and then a bye week before game 3. So we'll have a little time to catch up. But I'm not even sure it'll be decided completely before game 1. So we're just going to make the best decision we can and ride with it.
Scott, is that, and along those lines, is that a decision that, it happens maybe on a Monday, so it gives you a couple days leading into the game? Or is it the decision that maybe you're like saying it may be whoever steps on the field on Thursday against Jacksonville State?
I think I'll know before game day. I'm not sure I'll say before game day, but I think I'll know before game day. I wouldn't spring that on somebody right before a game. I think they got to get their mind right for whatever their role is and embrace their role. So, hopefully we have an idea here this coming week.
You mentioned after the scrimmage that we had been, you weren't satisfied with the product you saw on the field. How has that changed since that scrimmage?
I thought we only had a letdown or two all camp, which speaks to the work ethic of the team. They've been coming out and competing, which has been great to see. We hit a wall a little bit right before these last 2 days off, yesterday and the day before, and I think that's because of the amount of effort the guys have been given. Now that being said, I want to see them fight through that a little better than we did. But they answered the bell today and came out and had a really good practice. So we're going to try to keep them fresh and get them as ready as we can for game one.
All right, thanks, guys.